everyone, I'm Victoria. Today I'm here at the Long Island Aquarium, one of my favorite places to visit. I'm here today with Jenna, a marine mammal trainer. So Jenna, what is it that you do here?
So I'm a marine mammal trainer, like you said, but I also work with all of our mammals here. So our sea lions, our seals, our Japanese snow monkeys, marmosets, our North American river otters. Yeah, so we have a lot of mammals here, and I work with them to give them the best care that we can give them, and as well as training.
Wow, that's really good. And what's the difference between a sea lion and like a harbor seal or just a seal?
Yeah, so it's a very common question, and it is kind of hard sometimes to tell the difference, but there are some major things that you can look for. So true seals will actually have a hole behind each of their eyes as their ears, as opposed to sea lions, they actually have a little external ear flap like we have.
Oh, wow.
So that's a really good way to tell them apart. Also, sea lions have the ability to move around on land pretty well because they can tuck their rear flippers underneath their bodies, so they can move around on all four flippers. Unlike their cousins, the true seals, you'll see them flopping around like great big fuzzy inchworms. Also, sea lions have very large front flippers, so they can really support themselves up on those large front flippers, and they use them to pull their bodies through the water, as opposed to seals where they have little short front flippers, and they use them to steer as opposed to pull their bodies.
And is one of them easier to train than the other?
No, so actually they're both equally as smart or intelligent. But sometimes with our seals, it might be a little bit more difficult to train behaviors on land because they do move a little bit slower. But they're both equally as smart and intelligent.
So are these seals and sea lions local or somewhat local to our beaches and oceans?
Yes, so unfortunately not our sea lions, because these are California sea lions. They're found on the western coast, but our harbor seals and gray seal, yes, you will find them on our coasts of Long Island in the winter months. So you'll find them hauled out on big rocky shores in large groups. It's really a sight to see. We actually, the Riverhead Foundation actually offers some cruises, some seal cruises, where you can go out and go seal watching. So that's really cool.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I have to do that one today.
Yeah, I actually did it in the spring, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Wow. So is it easier to teach a younger one than an older one, or like when do they have to start training?
So it kind of depends. So here we're fortunate enough to actually have had some of our seals pup. So we actually do have a newborn seal out there. Not newborn, she's a couple months old. But it really doesn't matter. So you can train a newborn pup, or you could train an animal that's never been trained before. You really just have to develop that trusting relationship with the animal to make sure that they know that you're here for good intentions, that you're going to give them that fish, that a lot of food for them. So basically, once you build that relationship with an animal, whether it be a young animal or an older animal, you can really start working on the training. It's just really just developing that bond that matters.
And can any trainer just go with them, or can they only be with one trainer?
So all of us trainers here, we have about 6 trainers here. We all take turns working with each one of our animals. So there are some instances where some animals prefer other trainers more than others, but it really doesn't matter as long as we all have that intention of taking the best care of them and making sure that we are all on the same page with how we're working with them.
And what is the most common trick that people really like from a sea lion?
So during our shows, our audience really loves when they jump up and touch that colorful ball up there. They also have some fancy dance moves, so the audience really likes to see them dance. Really those high energy, athletic behaviors are really the ones that they like to enjoy.
And which trick is the hardest to teach?
The hardest? Actually something that sea lions are well known for, which is balancing a ball on their nose. A lot of people have seen that in commercials, movies. That's actually one of the hardest things to teach one of our sea lions. So our director of training actually worked on that with our female sea lion Bunker for almost 3 years to perfect it. So it depends upon the behavior, what you're training them, and the animal. So some animals pick up things quicker than others, and depending upon the complexity of the behavior, that can determine how long it takes as well.
And how many harbor seals and sea lions do you have in the aquarium?
So we have 4 harbor seals. We have a male named Max, an older female named Bowie. We have Calypso here in our sea lion pool, and we also have Daisy, which is our youngest pup. We also have a gray seal out front too. Her name is Gray Beauty, and we have 3 sea lions. So we have Java Bunker, our older 2, which are 14 years old, and then we have Neela, who is our youngest resident. She's just about 2 years old, and she was actually rescued off the coast of Southern California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she was rescued and rehabilitated, but unfortunately she wasn't able to be released out into the wild, so she needed a forever home, and they chose us for her, so we're very happy.
That's very good. And where do you usually get them from?
So it depends. So in instances like the rescues, like with Neela, we get them from rehab facilities, or they're born here. Other facilities, sometimes they have pups born too, and they just can't house them because they don't have enough room. So then they'll kind of ask other facilities if they have room, and that's how we get our animals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, can you tell me a little bit about the habitat we have behind us? You know, do you like the natural part of it and what they like about it?
Sure, yeah, so this habitat is actually really large for the 3 sea lions we have here. The water part is actually 60,000 gallons, and it is man-made salt water. Yeah, so we pump it with fresh water, and then we add our own salt to it to make it more natural, like the natural setting of the ocean. And then also we have, obviously, all these rocks up here. So sea lions like to actually haul out at night to sleep. So you'll find them up on these rocks come nighttime, and they'll sleep and huddle together, and they actually get really fuzzy and cute when they're dry. Yeah, so they really do enjoy this exhibit. They also have a little area in that cave there. So for the winter months, their floor is actually heated, and we actually give them radiant heat. So it's a nice little
really
warm
nice.
patch. Yeah, so
It's really nice for them.
Yep, absolutely. So we make sure that they are comfortable in all of the seasons.
And do they play with these objects in the water?
Yes, so these objects are toys. We call them toys or enrichment. We change them every single day, and it's a way to change their environment to make it more interesting for them, so they're not seeing the same thing every single day. And yeah, they do play with it. We find that our younger sea lion, Neela, plays with the enrichment more than the older ones. But if something new comes in here, they're always interested in checking it out.
And what kind of fish do you feed them when training?
So they get 3 types of fish, actually 2 types of fish and squid. So they get a larger, fattier fish called herring, and a smaller, leaner fish called capelin, and they also get some nice squid too.
And do they get different fish for different tricks that you're training, or when they're developing their trick, do you start off with the little one as in you're getting it, and do you go to the bigger one once they really have it?
In a sense, yeah. So when they are learning a new behavior, we call them behaviors instead of tricks because they're natural things that they would do, just variations of that. But yeah, so just say if they're learning something new and they got it for the first time, we'll give them a lot of that big fish or even just a lot of the small fish, what we call a jackpot. So we jackpot them and give them a lot of fish, either one really. But then once they know those behaviors and they're more used to these behaviors that they've learned, then you can give them 1 or 2. But it's really when they hit that breakthrough and learn something new, they get a big jackpot.
And how long have you been with the aquarium?
So in total, I've been here for 5 years. I interned here for a little under 2 years, and then I've been hired here full-time for a little over 3 years.
And what do you like about this aquarium?
I love this aquarium because even though it's a little small compared to other facilities, but I like that because I get the opportunity to work with our entire animal collection, really, as opposed to other facilities where you're just sectioned off to one type of animal. Here, I get a whole variety of working with seals to monkeys to otters, so it's really an incredible experience to be able to work with all different types. It really is. It's my dream job, so I'm very fortunate.
I'm very happy for you, and thank you so much for talking with me. I love this aquarium. I always come with my mom and everything. It's a great place.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you. I had an amazing day here at the Long Island Aquarium. I learned a lot, and I hope you learned a lot as well. I can't wait to come back and visit.